one. So yeah, Ibiza was fantastic, bro. But I just want to say this in conclusion or summation: Charlotte DeWitt, overrated, 100% in
Who's
my
Charlotte
opinion.
DeVet?
Dude, Charlotte DeWitt, we were at this I remember I told you we're at Universe, UNVRS, which is a great club, or not even club, it's a a venue, right? I mean, it's like they've got this yeah, it's a venue, bro. Like there's pockets and corners as you're wandering about, like secret bunker rooms where you just have someone like playing a set and it's like amazing. Um or like yeah, anyway, I don't want to go too deeply into the universe, but it's got a lot. Like it's more than just a club, okay? That's all I can tell you. And uh the visuals are amazing behind the stage, the light shows, everything that's going on, it's fantastic. And when you listen to a play, the first few minutes of each song, if I can even call it that, is interesting. But then it just turns into like literally 10 minutes of and it's not like the bass is doing something. You know what I mean? Like when when the DJ plays with the bass, when it'll be like, it's not that. It's literally just, and you get so bored. And as I like looked around me, all I saw was like people like shifting side to side. Like no one's dancing because you can't dance to that music. It's just, bro. And
Just
and
to
and
cut in quickly,
yeah.
it's because it's for the drugs. That's
No,
what
but
it's supposed to be for. That where you
Mikey,
just in
Mikey,
a
you
in
and
a
I,
zombie.
you and I have been to, and I'll give you I'll give you a contrast to what I know what you're trying to say, but trust me, it's not like that at all. It's boring. Like no one is dancing because you can't dance to it because it's just bass, and the bass is like penetrating through your chest, and it's like excessive, and it's people go there, I feel, just for the light show and to be able to say I've seen Charlotte DeWitt because she's the hot new thing. But compare that, for example, to okay, we were there another night at Universe, um, the last night, and I think it was John Summers was playing, and oh my goodness, he also used bass. He also had amazing visuals. But when you looked around, everyone is dancing, People are vibing because you can dance to the music. There's a play with the rhythm, with the bass, like and all that, It's you're playing with it. Like that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to, and still everyone is, you see jaws grinding, and like people are like floating away kind of thing, but like it's beautiful, right? and and I'm not the only one who said that. Like loads of people that you meet, like how it is, you're like meeting people at the hotel, or on the streets, and you're like, oh, where were you, what have you done? And then people are like, oh, you were also at Universe. Oh yeah, I found that kind of boring. People are like exchanging stories. It's not like it's just my experience. And um and then compare that to example for like Mel C. Remember Mel C from the Spice Girls?
Spice Girls.
Dude, that was the most amazing surprise. So Dean was like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna go to Pasha. Um, Pasha's another club, and we're gonna like Mel C is gonna open up, and then we're gonna see Robin Schulz. He's the headliner for that event. And we get to Pasha, and I was like, yeah, oh, Mel C from the Spice Girls, but somehow it didn't click. So we get to Pasha. I see this small woman like who's DJing with blonde hair, and the music was nice, but the dance floor was still open. Like we were early, even though it's like 11, 12 o'clock. It's early, early. And like, me in my true style, in our style, I immediately went to the very front because there's no one, almost no one on the dance floor. And I just started vibing. And she was smiling at me and Dean like, oh wait, these guys are like opening. Basically, they're like giving people the courage to come and dance. And in fact, like after a few minutes of us just like jamming, I just noticed like, oh, okay, the people are like kind of coming to the dance floor, um, and it never clicked like, oh, this is Mel C from the Spice Girls, even though like I knew the name, and I didn't click like this woman right here, this DJ playing is Mel C, because her set was off the hook. It was off the hook. It was so off the hook. And I'm just so impressed because I feel like that's amazing. She's not just I just applaud that she's not just a girl band pop artist, like one of the greatest pop groups that's ever been, right? We know this. I don't know if people today realize that, but she Spice Girls was huge. Um, but she as a DJ as well, top class. And and I would go and watch her perform 9 times out of 10 instead of Charlotte DeVette. 9 times out of 10, easily. She was fantastic. And then Robin Schulz was like the cherry on top. He just took it to, you know, really good, really good. Anyway, I know I'm going on, but
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to lose steam. No, but like, isn't it always like that though? When we would go to the trance parties, uh, there would be some random person where at some awkward time, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is insane," and everybody's like, kind of like, "Yo, the dance floor right now," and everybody rushes there. But then when the headliner comes, you're like, oh man, can't that guy play again? And it could even be, I won't say his debut playing, but maybe at like the big event, he's making
yeah.
his himself known. And so, yeah, I feel like that tends to happen. Obviously, most of the time it doesn't when you actually know like the headliner, and you just know there's something different in the air when he starts playing. And I'm specifically talking about like psytrance now.
Mm.
uh you can just hear like the quality inside of the beats and just how everybody is moving to it, and you go,
Mm.
whoa, this is
Tell us a
now.
story. That's the way Dean put it nicely. When we were at Charlotte DeVette, he was like telling me like, dude, why isn't she telling us a story? I think he put it like that, which is true. You want the music
Yeah, it's
tells
like
you a
the
story.
introduction, the build up, the climax,
And
the
like you're saying, the little details in the bass and in the background that you
exactly.
hear, and it's like, oh my goodness, this person is like reaching deep into our souls, and it's like this. Yeah, it's like Lord of the Rings
But
right
also
now.
you have to
There's
you have to realize, like, how did they get her as the headline? Like, it
I,
wasn't a they couldn't get someone they wanted. She was the only one who is available,
I
who
think it's
has
hype, my guy. I think
potential.
it's hype. Look, I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge, but
And
in
obviously
my
there could be people who like that kind of bassy stuff. Even though they might say, even though while it's happening, they don't know what to think, but then afterwards they go on social media and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I was a part of Charlotte DeVette. This is amazing." But
uh,
really, they didn't actually enjoy it
yeah, I
as
think it's
much as they thought they
I
did.
think it's hype because a lot what was happening, but this may be happening a lot anyways. People were putting up their phones and recording, and
That's when you know
I
they're
was like,
bored.
dude, exactly. I was one of the only people who's like, we were talking like, this obviously some random dude that I met at the dance floor, and um and he was like, I was like, dude, why has everyone got their phones up? And he was also a young dude, easily 10 years younger than us. And he was like,
Easily 10 years old.
no, no. Well, we're yeah. Anyway, he could
Why
easily be
would you
like,
go to that island?
that's Epstein's theme song, or Bill Gates's, or Elon Musk's. Who knows? Um,
Like that's the that's like your not your ringtone, like your
yeah,
message tone.
yeah. Oh shit! I'm waiting for Family Guy or for like some adult.
They would never do it. They won't touch it at all. But just to here's a question I do have about that, about the clubbing thing. I don't really wanna.
Yeah. Go to what?
Yeah, I mean, it's like to me, it's kind of all the same, right? Except just different venues. Obviously, the main attraction is like an island in a different country. That's obviously the biggest attraction. But then, so the question is, if you had to look at one of your best nights at like a Stones for uh, for example, I should say,
Which is a bar.
which is a
Bar with a
bar that
dance
has a
floor.
small dance floor, and a lot of the same things are kind of happening, but it's not like a club like that. Is there any real
Oh
difference?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want to
Okay,
undersell it.
okay,
No.
but yeah.
Okay, I
So
get
no,
what you're
another thing I
saying.
want to ask is I want to compare it to more things.
Yeah.
So for instance, did you ever go?
I went to
What
Dockside.
what club? No, no, what club? Because man, I'm trying to think now. Do
You're
you do
basically
you remember
asking,
something called Madison Avenue?
where was that?
So it was where Fez used to be. Do you remember Fez?
Yeah, I remember Fez. Look,
Okay,
man,
so now the name has changed many times. That's why I'm
Mikey, let
saying.
me let me tell you, let me tell you. I know what you're trying to ask me. How much of it is just the fact that you're on an island, a not tropical, but you're in a hot, beautiful place. Weather is great, right? People are from all over the world, and you're in this amazing venue, and it's the hype. And what I'm trying to tell you is, no, that's not it. There's actually amazing music, and of course, it's also the fact that let me tell you honestly, there's a lot of people you can tell who are just there for I was in Ibiza, you know.
Yeah.
I saw this name artist. There's people like that. You can see it. But then you also meet a lot of people who love the music, who are in the right vibe. It's basically, I would say, like, and you've seen this also in those trance parties. Like, you'll go to Bear Trap, which is a smaller trance party, and it'll be 10 out of 10. And then you go to another trance party, which is
Like Resident.
five times bigger, right? Five times more budget, five times more stuff, and it's like a 8 out of 10. So what I'm saying is that the people, the club, the place, it actually is a 10 out of 10 experience. It's just that I felt that she, this Devet, Charlotte Devet, she wasn't supposed to be there. Like, it's like a blemish in my experience because I was tired. I was standing there thinking about, oh, my legs are tired. I actually want to go home now, right?
But
And
here's a
that's
question.
wrong. You should
In
never
that
be.
moment, can't you just go to another place as if you were in just at a place you didn't like and then say, let's get out of here, let's go check out some other place? Like how far off are the places to each other?
Oh,
Or is it because, oh, we paid for this, so we have to kind of stay for this?
look, this is what you could do, and that's the nice thing. You could just leave, not leave universe, and go to, there's like two or three other places where they're playing music, like smaller rooms, right? Like there's a bunker, there's another
Yeah.
DJ playing there. You could go there, right? But yeah, you do actually pay a lot for the tickets, right? Especially if you were to convert it to rands. Um, it's a lot of money. Uh, so that's the annoying part. Like, if you're paying, I can't even remember how much. If you're paying 150 for 3 people to go to a party, I think we paid even more for hers. Then you are kind of expecting a really great DJ on the main stage, but um,
And when
and
does she start playing as opposed to when there's
like
other DJs before her?
2 a.m. It's the same with Robin Schulz. Like Ibiza, the clubs on Ibiza, they're late night parties. You have some clubs that are only from 2 p.m. to like 9 p.m. They're not open at night. Remember, like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
the sun is still up. 10 p.m. is when the sun like goes down in summer. So so really the main act will come out at like 2 a.m. 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. That's when the main headliner is actually going on, starting their
So
set.
how was the people before? The lineup
Before,
before her? Like,
la-
was it like, what is that the reason? Because you were like, oh, we're having such a good time, and then she comes on and now it goes flat? Or was it
yeah,
flat the whole time and then she comes on and now you're like, okay, this is what we came here for, and then, oh, this is also flat. So this whole night is kind of like bad.
the performance before her was good, but yeah, it wasn't also that amazing. You know who was amazing? Apparently, it's her husband. Um, I can check. The guy, I don't know, but there was some person who came on before her, um, and he was very good. Yes, exactly. Enrico Sanguiolano. He was very good. Um, and I was like, why couldn't we get more of this guy? Like, I don't know who this dude is. And then Dean told me like, oh, that's her husband. And so her husband was also coming on before or after her or something like that. But he was good. He was good. I was like, yeah, this is what we needed more of. Um,
But I also feel like when it comes to these things, it's not just one aspect. It can be one aspect, but it's the whole thing, the whole package
yeah.
of the people you meet, to even like the level of messed up you get, to the music, to certain activities that happen.
Mm.
So out of 10, what would you rate that experience? Not just like, oh, we're dancing and the music is flat.
Oh, the people were actually very nice, man. People are very nice. They're very open. Um, the thing is, obviously, like you'll have, like it gets crowded. What was annoying is that, like, at some point, everyone is just like pushing to the front, and it doesn't make sense. Like, I know you are only pushing to the front because you're trying to say, or you're trying to get your video recording up close, but the music isn't good, right? Because when the music was pumping in that other time, people wanted a bit of space to dance. You get it? Like you saw people wanted to like move, so they're like, "I'll come back a bit as long as I can jam." And people are jamming all around, and they're like, and yeah, there were still people crowded in front, but it was just like this stream where it got a little bit annoying. Like you can't move. You want to go take a piss. You take a piss. You come back. It's crowded. I think it. I think
Even when you're at the toilets, you're waiting in a long line
yeah.
for
Like
some
I think
porta
I
potty to open.
exactly. I think in summary, because I don't want us to talk the whole time about this, but I'll say that it was a hyped up artist, and the hyped up artist attracted hype people. You know what I mean? It attracted phony, phony music lovers, the people who they're fake. They're not really there because they want to listen to good music. They're not there because they want to have a great experience. Because before her and after her, it was fantastic. You know, the people were nice, everyone was nice, people were actually dancing. They weren't obsessed with their phones coming out the whole time. Um, you know, people were just like patting me on the shoulder and like giving me a thumbs up just because they saw that I was enjoying myself. You know that kind of feel, like that kind of vibe. Like people are like that. People are just like smiling. You know, if you step on someone's shoe, they just smile at you. No one's trying to like start anything. Like 100% good vibes. Good vibes.
That's why, yeah, that's why, like, when it came to